Welcome to the More Life, Less Drama podcast with mindset expert and master executive coach, Prue Sulicic, who will teach you how to finish your first goal and then every goal using her simple, proven formula. If you're ready to live more life, have more fun, and reach your potential with less drama, you're in the right place.
Hello. Welcome back to another episode of More Life, Less Drama. We are really at the pointy end of the year now, and I actually have decided that this is going to be my last podcast for the year. I am madly packing up my house because we rent out our house on Airbnb when we go on holidays or over holiday periods, and I'm in amongst it right now. And I was contemplating if I would actually produce an episode for next week and the week after, and I just have decided, you know what, I'm just going to give myself a break, enjoy my time with my family, and not have to stress about actually getting a podcast together. So this is officially my last podcast of the year, which, we're ending on 83, which is pretty cool. I was going to hit 85, but we are hitting 83, and you know what, I'm super happy with that. So just also maybe give yourself permission if you're doing the same, trying to rush and do all these things and prepare and have like a super high expectation of yourself to complete stuff, and you're like, actually I just don't have the capacity, or I just don't want to stretch myself that thin this time of year. Just be like me, be like, you know what, it's okay if that doesn't happen, and there's always time later on in the new year. As I'm saying this, I can hear my own brain saying to me, Prue, you are so kind to yourself. And I am. Sometimes it's my biggest weakness, is that I am super kind to myself. And so don't do that if you are really needing to get stuff done, of course. But me and my podcast, I have decided, and it's okay. It's not life altering. No one's going to die if I don't get my podcast out. It might be a good opportunity to go back and listen to the ones that you have not listened to. If you are looking for something to listen to and you're like, I want Prue in my ears over the next couple of weeks, maybe do that, or scroll back and listen to your favorite episode. I've had people tell me that number 66 is their favorite and has kept them sane. And so I can't even tell you off the top of my head what number 66 is all about, but I'm really glad to hear that people are using this resource as it's meant to be, which is, something that is helping you get through life without the drama. Okay. So I'm curious to know if your life is drama free right now, or have you got a lot of good drama going on? What tends to happen at this time of year is there is a lot of pressure to be a certain way, to give, and to have all the Christmas spread and the high expectation of stuff like that. And it can be really stressful for a lot of people. So if you're one of those people that you are starting to feel stressed out, just take a breath and be okay with where you are right now in this life of yours and what your circumstances are, and just know that you are doing the best you can no matter what is happening. A theme that I have been seeing in my own life and the people around me is the lack of self-compassion. And so this is just a reminder to you that if you are feeling overwhelmed and like really stretched thin and the expectations are weighing on you, I want you to be so compassionate with yourself and just to give yourself a break. Like, give yourself a warm hug. That's what you need to do. And of course, I'm always here if you need that extra support, and always happy to take, DMs to support people through this time. So just putting it out there. That is what I'm here to help you with. Okay, so what was I going to talk about today? I've started a little bit off topic, but let's get back into what our topic is going to be today. And I'm going to start by telling you a story that just happened a couple of weeks ago, which is going to set the scene for this episode. And that was a couple of weeks ago, I went camping with a friend yes, camping is something that I don't normally do at this stage of my life. Have done mega amounts of camping throughout my life, but then decided once I left Broken Hill that if I never camped again, I wouldn't be sad. But here I am, 3 years down the track, and it was my daughter and myself were both having this like pull to go camping, and then one of my friends was like, hey, we're going camping, why don't you come with us? And I was like, okay, that sounds good. That was a good reason. And look, honestly, it was fairly glamping because it was inside a caravan park. And yes, we just had tents and stuff like that, but we did have a bathroom, so I'm not going all out camping like I used to as a kid. But the whole story is based on this one thing that we did, and that was we went to this beautiful rock pool down near Yamba. That's where we were camping, which is a couple of hours south of the Gold Coast, and they had these gorgeous, beautiful rock pools. Like, they were fresh water even though the beach was right there, and they had all these cliff faces, and people were jumping off this small little cliff and also this big large cliff, which, when I say large, let's just say it was 5 or 6 meters high. I was sort of trying to measure it in my brain, and I think maybe 5 meters high, so it's not a massive jump, but high enough to feel a little bit nervous about. Anyway, so this one woman was jumping off this small, like 1 meter type of rock, and all the kids were doing the same. And the friend that my daughter brought, her name is Hillary, and she and I went swimming across, and she was like, come on, we'll go jump off the big cliff. And I hadn't even jumped off the small cliff yet. She had. And I'm like, oh, okay. So we like swam across the way, and she just was like, let's go, let's just climb up the rock face. She went first and did it one time. She's like, let's go, let's do it. And I just went, okay, rightio, let's go. So I just climbed up the rock face and ran and jumped off. And that's the basis of this story, because when I got thinking, it is really an analogy for life. And as you know, I love pulling stories from life and aligning them to personal growth. So it got me thinking about the types of people that do this sort of stuff. And of course, I've put a spin on it to think about how people do this with goals and achieving their dreams. First of all, let's think of these 4 types of people. So the first person is the person who pretends that they don't even want that. Like, there's no way, there's not an ounce of thought that goes into their mind that is like, yeah, you want to jump off that cliff, you want that dream, you want that goal. They're just pretending that they don't want it. The second type of person is a person who thinks about jumping. So there's a lot of thought about it, like, oh, that'd be exciting, it'd be fun, but then they don't do it. So they overthink about it. They get into their heads and out of their bodies. Then the third type of person is the person who wants to jump and also doesn't do the big jump straight away. Goes and finds that smaller rock and says, I'm just going to jump off here. And they might jump off once, they might jump off twice, and they are happy with that. Then the fourth type of person is the person that just goes, okay, let's go. Where's the highest rock? Where can I jump off the fastest? And they are the people that just go hell for leather into the highest rock face and just jumping off of there. So they're all about just bypassing all the small steps. So I'm wondering, hearing those 4 types of people, who are you? Like, which one are you? Are you 1, 2, 3, or 4? And as usual, I would love to hear some feedback about this, because I would love to know who I'm talking to. When I'm producing podcasts, it's always so helpful to know who I'm talking to. So are you the person that pretends that they don't want it? Like, no, I don't have any dreams or goals and definitely don't want to jump off that cliff. Are you the person that thinks about jumping? It's like, oh, would love to, but oh no, I can't. Or are you the person that wants to jump off that big one, but goes, look, I'll take the safe option. I'll just jump off this little one over here. Or are you the fourth type of person that just goes, yep, give me the highest rock and let's go. Let's do it. Which one are you? So on the surface, and from this story, it definitely looks like I'm number 4, right? It's like, okay, in this scenario, I am number 4. I actually feel that maybe I am more of a number 3 naturally, more so. But yeah, sort of go between 3 and 4 in my life for sure. I'm always going and taking a lot of action a lot of the time, but also am taking lots of small steps, okay? And maybe it's something that I've taught myself to do. So think about which one you are, and also think about who would you like to be. Like just off the top of your head right now, you're like, okay, I would love to be, and insert that person. What does that look like? How would that change your life if you were that person? And how would life be different? So think about that, like using it for your highest good. Who would you love to be? Now I want to talk through with you how each person's life sort of can play out and how it can help you achieve your goals or not achieve your goals. And then I'm going to give you a little bit of medicine for, personal growth through each of these categories of people. And I just want to start by saying each category of person is not better than each other. Like 1 is not at the bottom of the scale and 4 is at the top of the scale as in awesomeness. No, that is not what I'm saying. We are all different humans all of the time. We all have our limitations and we all have our strengths and weaknesses, and it's just about learning what person you are right now and who you want to be in the future, and like solving for that on an individual basis. So, okay, let's talk through each category now. Okay, so are you the person that pretends they don't want to jump or don't have any dreams and goals? Like I see this so often. It's like, I don't know, I'm not sure. I just like cruising along in life. There are people that are very content with their life. Like this is not the person I'm talking about. If you're a person listening to this and you feel that you are number 1, the category number 1, then maybe you are the person that life might look great and it looks pretty good on the outside, but you feel a bit meh inside. Things are okay, but they're not fantastic. That's the type of person that 1 is. When you are pretending that you don't have any dreams and goals, you feel just a little bit lackluster in your life. You're grateful, you're grateful. You're like, oh, I do love my life. But there is also a little bit of restlessness in you. And restlessness can show up differently for people, but it also might show up as resentment. You're like, I love my job, I love my life, I love my husband, everything's great, but I just feel a little bit like I'm not seen. I'm not having any fun. There's no joy in my life. Maybe that's running through you. So that's person number 1. You might be a person that gets that itch to do something, like jump off that cliff, but you quickly, really, really quickly, you push it down and push it aside and be like, no, because I'm grateful for my life how it is. I don't need anything else. But brushing it aside constantly brings you back to restlessness and resentment, and they just ooze out of you. You don't even mean for it to ooze out of you, but it oozes out of you, and it does sort of ripple throughout your life. So what's the medicine for this? If you're that person, what do you think you could do to help you get through this? To pull out the version of you that you really want to be, but you just pretend is not in there. Well, my version of medicine, and when I say medicine, it's like a solution. But I do love the word medicine for this particular topic. And the medicine is allowing yourself to dream. Buy the magazine, pour through the pages and be like, oh my God, I would love a house like that. I would love a life like that. Get on Pinterest, see what catches your interest. find a course that you love and be like, I really want to learn how to sew or to needlework or to, take photos, and just allow yourself to dream. The ability to dream is something that you need to work on. And for those people that have pushed their dreams and goals down for most of their life, it's going to take a little bit of practice. Actually, one of my friends, she was telling me about how her coach had asked her to write a list of wants. And she's like, nah, I'm not allowed to want anything, because she was told repeatedly that she wasn't allowed to want anything. And so allowing herself to step into this space of wanting things is really difficult. So just know it's not as easy as going, just allow yourself to dream, it's okay. It is, we call it medicine for a reason. You have to take it consistently for it to have some sort of effect. And the same goes for you. If you have not allowed yourself to dream, you just need to take things day by day and just allow the medicine to work. And it might take some time, and that's totally okay. There's no time limit on this. So that was person number 1. Person number 2 is the person who thinks about jumping. It's like, gets that little tingle of excitement in their body, but then doesn't. And often goes home and just feels a little bit disappointed that they just didn't do that. They didn't pull the trigger on that. They're like, oh, I should have done that. They have a lot of regret, these people. So they're like, oh, I missed that opportunity. Like, you feel the pull to do something, and it comes from your soul. Like, your absolute soul is saying, just do it. Just do it. You allow your logical brain to take over really quickly. And even though you might be one step into allowing dreams, unlike the first person, but your logical brain really just squashes it really fast, because you've been taught, most probably, you've got to weigh up the pros and cons. But what if this happens, and what if that happens? And you're like, oh no, I can't jump off the cliff, because what happens if I break my neck? That's basically what you're thinking about your own dreams and goals. What if this happens? It's too risky. Being in this state means you are in a constant state of unmet desire, which is damn painful, I'm telling you. Like, I have put myself in this position a lot as well. And it definitely manifests in your life as frustration and irritation. There's an underlying stream of almost anger. I can just feel it. It's like when you have a desire and you constantly, pull yourself back from meeting that desire, you just feel frustrated constantly. You may even be somebody that buffers on things that make you feel better in that moment to override the feeling of frustration and irritation. So it could be things like eating. You're like, right, I can't start that business. So I am going to eat my way through January. I'm just going to buy chocolate because it makes me feel good. I'm going to just eat anything that I come across and just stuff my face with ice cream. Whatever it is. It might be other things like shopping. You might be like, I'm just going to numb out and I'm just going to shop. I'm going to fill up all my carts and just allow myself to dream. But still, you might follow through on the shopping, or you might not, which then might lead to more frustration and irritation. You then also might be somebody that does excessive exercise. This has never been me, but there are plenty of people that do this apparently. And so they really excessively exercise to stop the feelings of their unmet desire, because that's painful. And so they're like, I'll just buffer on exercising a lot. And yeah, all sorts of things. So what do you buffer on? If you're person number 2, what is your favorite go-to to think to yourself, right, if I do this, it'll make me feel better? You won't actually have that conscious thought, but you find yourself at the fridge or find yourself in your apps shopping country road gear that you do not need. Okay, so just take notice of what that is for you. And what do you think the medicine is for this? The medicine of constantly being in a state of unmet desire, which leads to frustration and irritation? What's your hunch at the medicine? Well, my hunch for the medicine for you is allowing yourself to do things, allowing yourself to take some action on some things. Doesn't mean you have to take action on everything, but just allow yourself to take action. By the way, you are taking action in other areas, like you're shopping, you're eating, you're exercising. But what about taking the action that will meet your desire? What about you could do that? That does look different for everybody, so I can't give you like a blanket thing to do because it could be so varied. So just know the medicine for person number 2 is allowing yourself to take action. Then there's person number 3. So this person wants to jump. They want to just go to the top one. They're like, I just want to jump from there. And they just want and desire to jump from the top cliff. They want to just go all in. Yet they find the smaller rock first, the 1 meter rock face rather than the 5 meter. Okay, so look, totally fine. You can do that. Actually, I'm a fan of this. I'm a fan of small steps, as you know. So small steps do create big changes a lot of the time. And so these people are great. They're already taking action. They have some dreams and goals. But what often happens is you can use it against yourself. And this is why I love my Finishers Club program so much, because I'm using it for you. We're developing the foundations and small wins for you, rather than what most people do is using it against you. So it can go sort of 2 ways, I suppose, in this category. So thinking of the negative, like against yourself, you can feel proud of your small win, okay, which looks all great on the outside, and then that leads you to stopping. You're like, oh, well, I've done that now. Comfort zone, push just a slight bit, but that's all I'm willing to do. So you might jump off the small 1 meter cliff or rock, and then you're like, no, I don't need to do the next one. Like, I've already proven myself that I can do this. I'm just happy to sit here for a while now. I might do that again later, or I might think about doing the big one later. But for now, look, I do feel a little bit proud of myself that I've jumped off the 1 meter rock. So you just stop. Okay, it can make you stop because you're like, yep, I've got a taste of it. I feel like, no, that's enough. Or you can feel a negative emotion because the first small step that you did, like jumping off the first rock, produced a result that you didn't want, and that also stops you. So thinking about it from jumping off the rock, maybe you scraped your knee on the way down or something. Or maybe in life, in your goals, you took a step and maybe you were criticized, or it didn't just work out the way you thought it was going to work out. And so then you stop. So either way, using it against yourself has you stopping. And we don't want that because we want lots of small steps. We want you to get to the 5 meter cliff, like with intention. And be like, I'm going to take this step and then this step and then this step, and then I'll be up there and then will have achieved my goal. But it takes all these small steps to get there. But instead, you stop. So what do you think your medicine is? What's the medicine for number 3, the person that uses their small wins against themselves? Well, for me, I know the medicine is to keep lining up small wins, have a plan for small wins. It's like, this is the first step. I'm going to jump off that 1 meter rock. Then I'm going to do it again. And I'm going to do it again until I feel and build some confidence. Then I might go to the 3 meter rock, and then I'm going to do that. And I might do that 2 or 3 times too. And then when I've achieved competence there, I'm going to go to the 5 meter rock and I'm going to jump off there. But really the goal is 5 meters, but I'm just taking all these small steps along the way. And you might scrape your knee on the first go. And the mindset is that failure is progress. So that's your medicine. Lining up small wins with the big goal in mind, and a mindset that failure is progress. Okay, that's your medicine. Okay, and then there's number 4. So the people who just go all in, walk into the pond and go, you know what, I'm just going to jump from there. Let's go. Let's do it really fast. And there's no overthinking. There's no procrastinating. It all seems great. They're like, jump off. Yep, done it. Let's go. What's next? That type of energy. And you may think it's gold at this level. Everyone might think, oh, number 4, I want to be number 4. But like I said earlier, no person or level is better than each other. We all have our limitations, okay? But this person can also work on something as well. So how this shows up in this person's life and what can be solved and worked on is that they are so quick to jump in and just go all in on one thing that they find that they actually lose momentum or just are scattered and don't really have a lot of direction because they're just like trying everything all the time. They're like all in, all in, all in, all in. So they're going hard and fast into their goals, yet they don't really understand what that goal is actually going to lead them to. Because not every goal needs to be achieved. Not everything that you think of needs to be achieved or, jumped from. You don't need to jump on every single thing that your brain offers you. Because the truth is, we have only a certain amount of capacity and we need to figure out what really truly lights us up to actually choose the right goals and choose the things to do super fast and go all in on, because not everything is that thing. So you might, like I said, feel scattered. You might feel underprepared. And you might find that you are getting the wrong results because you have rushed past the most important steps of choosing the right goals. So what's your medicine for people that are number 4 that are always go, 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 go? Well, the medicine is very opposite to the other ones, and that is actually slowing down. These people are so fast into their goals and into their life that they actually need to, take their foot off the accelerator. Not that I don't want you to jump, go to the top cliff and just jump, but I want you to do it from a place of, this is going to serve me at a higher level. And understanding that committing to the thing that you're committing to is going to get you to that higher level, the place that you actually want to be. Because not every goal, like I said, is worth your time or effort or focus. It might lead you astray. It might lead you down a path that, is completely the opposite of what you thought you wanted. And therefore, you've got to backtrack and start again. And, our time is finite. It will end one day. And so we've got to really take and be discerning about what we spend our time on. Okay? So slowing down is your medicine. Really hard for these people. Really hard to be no, just pull back the accelerator a bit, put on the brakes. Let's really think about these things that we're doing. Are they intentional? Where are they going to lead? All that stuff. And that might be totally boring for a person that's category number 4. It's no, let's just go head first into it. And it might be just so hard for them to slow down. So all of these types of people have advantages and disadvantages. And what I want you to do with this information is to figure out and to use this information to help you with your goals, okay? And the goals that you want to achieve. So we all have goals and dreams, and we all have challenges and limitations. And we all have the ability to overcome them as well. So if you're thinking, yeah, I've tried it all before, I really, don't know what else to do. You do have the ability to overcome your limitations. It's just about the awareness piece first, which is why I've just given you all that information. Because I want to leave you with this. And it was from coaching that I received on my coaching call that inside the mastermind that I'm in myself. And I already know this, but just hearing it today from my coach who's at a really high level, she was talking about it. And I just wanted to share it with you as well. The only thing preventing any of us from doing anything is the fear of feeling an emotion. That's it. I just wanted to remind you of that, because I think I've said it before, but I just needed to reiterate that with you because that is all that you're fearful of. Jumping off the cliff is, look, it's scary, but the only thing that you're scared of is the feeling of fear. Even though I'm not going to go into it too much right now, I just want you to know that everybody has their own flavor of emotion that they are unwilling to feel. And once you understand what that emotion is, you can then go out and start solving for it by using the strategies that and the medicine that I gave you for each of those categories, and then adjusting it to help you do the things that you need to do on a personal level to solve the problem for yourself. So the flavor of resistance to your particular emotion looks different for everybody. So some people might be unwilling to feel embarrassment. I know that was mine for a long time. And that's what prevents them from jumping or from going after their goals. Some others might be scared to feel visibility, being seen. It's such a common one. And so they don't jump because they're like, well, I've got to get up in my bikini in front of everybody and they're going to watch me jump off the cliff. What happens if I make an idiot of myself? All those things. And therefore they just don't do it. Others may be unwilling to feel like space. That last person that we talked about, like they're rushing into things all the time because they don't want to feel space, because if they leave too much space, they might feel something that they don't want to feel. And that could be anything. It might be fear, sadness. It might be even a positive thing. It's like if I feel too much of that, I might want more of it. So I'm not going to allow myself to feel anything. So I'm just rushing through things, getting it done, and just leaving no time to feel. So this is helpful because once you understand your own unique flavor of resistance to the emotion, you can solve for it. And that's what we do inside the Finishers Club. That's what I do in my personal coaching all the time with somebody. I'm hearing what they are saying and I can hear the resistance they have to certain things. Like some people will just not do something because they are too scared of the emotion that they are going to feel. Okay, so now that you've heard these 4 approaches to achieving your goals, and hopefully that you've identified which one feels most like you, because that's the whole point of this. Like you might have a flavor of all of them. You might be like, sometimes I'm like this, in certain situations I'm like that. That's totally normal too. But what is your main character's energy? What is it? 1, 2, 3, or 4? And you might be wondering, okay, but how do I actually take the next step to make the change? And that's where the support and structure comes in. Because the truth is, knowing the medicine is one thing, applying it consistently and making it work for your life is something entirely different, like something else entirely. And that's exactly what we do inside the Finishers Club or my one-on-one coaching. Actually, my client today, when we were talking through something similar, she was like, I just don't know how people do personal development alone. And it's true. I don't know either. It's so important to have somebody guiding you and hearing your thoughts and helping you understand yourself, which is really the thing that will help move you through faster. And it's not that it's a race, but we can stay in cycles for way too long and they just don't serve us. So it helps you move through these cycles faster. Okay. So the Finishers Club definitely isn't a course or a coaching program that is about piling more on your plate or adding more stress. It's not what we do at all. Like I am the complete opposite to a hard ass accountability coach. Like absolutely. It is about creating goals that feel aligned with who you are and giving you the tools, support, and the accountability to actually help you follow through. So whether you need help allowing yourself to dream, taking the first step, celebrating your small wins, or slowing down to choose the right goals, like we have you covered inside the Finishers Club. So this is where you'll learn to break free from your old patterns and finally achieve the things that matter most to you. So I'm inviting you to join the Finishers Club. It's open right now for enrollment, and the next block of live coaching starts on the 6th of January. It's not essential that you come to these live coaching blocks, but it is a really great bonus that you get inside this course. So you can use it if you're a person that loves to meet and be in community with others. The coaching is fantastic for that. So I'm inviting you to come along to that. And yeah, we start on the 6th of January. It's a Monday night at 6:30. That's when we meet. It's all recorded, so you'll get all the access to the recordings. But the best part is that if you purchase today, you will get access to everything. Like the whole course is at your fingertips from the moment that you sign up, and you have it forever. Like, that is the best part about this course too, is that you have it forever. The course is a one-time purchase, and you are in there for the life of the course, which is going to be a long time. So you get all the materials plus anything that is updated, plus the group coaching every round forever. It's so exciting, and it is the place that will have you finally following through and learning to trust yourself that you can follow through on the right goals. Okay, my friends, well, I'm going to sign off and leave that with you. And like I said, this is my last podcast for the year. So a huge thank you to everybody that has listened this year. It has been such an honor to have you following along this podcast, and we are back next year for some magnificent things and great topics coming up. I've got such a plan and an idea for how 2025 is going to look for this podcast, but it is always going to be here to support you to have more life and less drama. Okay, my beautiful friends, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and I will see you in 2025. Bye.
Thanks for listening to More Life, Less Drama. If you're ready to finish your goals, Prue invites you to join her inside the Finishers Club, where you will learn how to finish your first intentional goal, the hardest part, then complete every goal you set your mind to using her simple formula. Visit head-coach.com.au to get started today.